All right, all right. What's up, everybody? I've got ToxSam here with me, Daniel from Polygonal Mind. Man, we've been trying to do this for how long? Oh, you know what?
Oh,
Just like you said,
months.
I didn't. Hold on a second. I didn't mute my Decentraland page, and I started talking to my own ear. But yeah, we've been trying to get this thing together since before you did the first wearables. So
Yeah, right. I mean, it was like 3 months ago, or maybe more. I think we were still in quarantine in Spain, so
yeah, definitely.
probably.
On that, how did the first run go?
Of the wearables,
Yeah.
yeah, they went really well. I mean,
Nice.
most of them sold, and our stock on Polygonal Mind is still pretty much untouched.
Awesome.
We will be distributing alien helmets for the winners of the tournaments pretty soon. We want to mint around tokens cinematic for rewards for the people who came by, and we are having some delays on that. So once we have that, we will be launching and giving everything like super giveaway for everybody.
Nice. Yeah, so that was exciting, and then now you came around the second time with the mythics.
Yeah.
How was that process? Because I know you have to kind of be thinking when you're thinking it up that it's gonna be something fancy, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. We went for something fancy. We talk about what we wanted to do, and we pick like something between Moebius and Empire of the Sun. And Moebius is a famous French comic artist which has this very stylish aesthetic into the comics, and Empire of the Sun have these crown things, and um, I don't know. I think we did a really good job. Actually, Laura did a really good job with the wearables this
Yeah.
time.
Nice. Yeah.
Actually, we have an action going. I'm not sure if it just finished or not.
Oh,
We
is
have
it
our
going on now?
wearables.
I want to take a look at it.
Yeah, not sure if we have any bits or anything. Maybe not.
Let me take a look. What's the name of it?
Let me check. It's called let's see, Dreamverse Dreamverse collection.
Dreamverse.
Yep.
Uh,
Let's see. Not sure
here
if
we
we
go.
sold it
Yeah.
though. It just expired.
Oh, they all expired. Oh wow.
Maybe. Oh man, we should burn them down then.
No, we should send them to my wallet. I'll sell them. Cause though I love those jackets, man. Like the coloring, the way it almost looks like drawn. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. We wanted to make it look so it's like hand drawing, and I think we really did a really good job on that.
Yeah.
We will try to sell them again in the future, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
man. I
probably not a
mean,
problem.
the timing is what. And here's the thing about, like, let's say the wearables market, as far as the ups and downs. The wearables market is usually good after some sort of adoption, after some sort of new group comes in, and new people learn about it, and then after they have made some money in one way or the other, like whether it's in a different coin or whether Decentraland had something going on or whatever. So it's just one of those things where I think timing is going to be a key with wearables, and I think that maybe we should decide on how often we want to do wearables.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not a problem. We will be selling them
Of
eventually.
course, I know you will.
If not, we have this idea of like do this pop up 24 hours, and if no one bids, then burn them. So the next one will be more valuable because there's not going to be enough, and eventually
It's so
we
harsh
just
to hear you talk about burning those wearables. I'm like, no, I'll send you the address. It's this one right here. It hurts.
Oh.
But it's a great experiment to have gone through this whole process, to see you guys working on the mechanic of it, one thing, and then the other thing is seeing about the business side of it and whether they're gonna sell, how much you sell them for, and all that. So there's gonna be this is gonna continue. We're gonna have to see how the process goes, because this is all rarefied air. You had like Cyber Mike, putting his stuff up for 40,000 mana. Like, I would love him to. I was joking. I'm like, somebody buys that for 40,000 mana, I'm gonna be walking around with my theater mask, like trying to get like 1,000,000 mana. But
Yeah.
the reality is that we're just trying to understand where is the value in the market when it comes to wearables, and what, not only what you can get, because I think that's not necessarily the only thing you should think about. More like, at what point does it become like fun for everybody to be involved with this, and it's not like, oh man, if I get into Decentraland, I gotta be a millionaire to get a shirt,
Yeah, exactly. I guess that will happen once we have like easier tools to create wearables.
That's the other
Like,
thing too, yeah.
Maybe you want to just make a shirt of your company and you just can do it on a website, and means, I don't know, 1,000.
It'd be cool, like almost like a, I don't want to say exactly like Rarible, but like Rarible, in the sense that if anybody could just go in there, take whatever given 3D models there was, shirt, jacket, simple basic things that everybody would normally put on a person, and you can jazz them up with your own materials. And I think that a simple builder like that, or even a more advanced builder, would be cool too. I mean, with the more advanced you get, and then you're like, well, you might as well just use Blender, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, there's a couple of ideas on that. I've been speaking with the Decentraland team about that.
Yeah.
We're thinking of something similar for crypto avatars, so people can create their own avatars without having to be on board and all the stuff. So that's happening on the crypto avatars on the short term, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Decentraland, I cannot say when or anything.
Well, things run. You know how it goes. Things go slow in Decentraland, but when they hit and they stay, because that's just the nature of the decentralized. So it's it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out fine, I think. But so what's next? I know you got Tomb Chaser, the updated version now. I haven't ran through it because I suck. So
that's totally fine, man. This one was really hard. I actually have issues finishing it myself.
Really?
Because the team created and they're like trying to figure out ways to make it harder, so it's more difficult to like cheating.
Yeah.
And the next thing is going to be another Tomb Chaser and something very special. Why not say it? It's going to be like a season pass for our games, right? So
that's right.
The problem we have right now is that you have to pay once every time you play. You have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be like just pay a fee and you can play all this time during the event, and you will be on the leaderboard regardless how many times you play. I think this way we will enable more people to play our games and not be pushed out for mana wall all the time, paying 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10.
Yeah.
Maybe failing, because I did that myself. I paid the 10 mana and then I failed and I was not in the higher score. And I was like, oh shit, shit. I was a person looking for to earn some wearables. I will be pissed off about this. So
yeah.
Are
you thinking about trying to make a game more like this, like grinding type game, like it's something you reach an achievement and then
okay, yes,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we have this game idea that is it's not public yet because he's still not sure if we can make it.
Right.
I have to speak with the Decentraland team about this, but it's like a super challenge. It's going to be a grind, but it's going to be a collaborative grind for all the people who is going to go to the scene. So I cannot say more about it, but it's like a huge project that we want to launch.
And I figured that mechanic or whatever, like having it being a longer game, ends up being obviously more work. That's why you haven't seen
exactly.
like Wonder Zone takes a little longer to get their game out, because it's not like then you know this and this and the game's over. It's like this game continues. So you know, you can see why that would take a little long. Ethermon, you know, I'm pretty excited to see what that does, because my reason behind the question was just talking about how we can get more people to kind of hang out here, you know, in world. Because in world's starting to get cool. Like, I started walking around lately, you know, and you're starting to see more and more stuff. They put that thing right next to the block runner, which I thought was really cool. You know what I'm talking about? The little obstacle course that they made.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure if I saw it. I've been walking around Decentraland this week from top to bottom and left to right.
Those are long
I've been
walks.
spending having some long walks.
Yeah.
But I've been just walking around to see how
digital hike.
you know.
Taking a digital hike.
Yes, it took around. I'm not sure because I was speaking all the time, but it took a long time, and there's this stuff going on, right? You can see buildings that, oh shit, this is happening, and no one is speaking about this building. For example, if you go to Vegas, you will see casinos that haven't been released yet, and nobody has been speaking about them.
Yeah.
Or art galleries that are being built in the shadows, you know. So things are starting to catch up, and I think with new updates that are going to happen in Decentraland, or it's going to even speed things up. And yeah, it's not the same thing that we had in February, right? There was nothing, and you can see also people buying lands and trying to build their own stuff with the builder, which is also really cool.
Yeah. I think people are starting to learn how to use the builder a little bit more in depth too, because I think in the beginning I didn't even understand how to use the builder. I didn't know you can have your own models and put them into the builder. So
yeah.
You know,
that came later on.
So, you know, I don't know, but to me the value is learning that SDK, man. Like, is nothing like it. Like, we did the launch for NFT 40, well, not the launch, no, for the whip yesterday. We did a launch for a whip.
Yeah,
So anyway, I got the, you know, because Leandro put that thing together, the 3D model of the building, and I got it into the SDK, and then I'm just like, wow, there's so much I can do here, you know, in my brain, just because, you know, what the whip is and stuff. So I'm gonna get with them sometime soon and try to like throw some buttons in there and try to get some links. Like, I want it to be a mirror of what they have in Crypto Voxels, and then be able to have them both go vice versa, you know. So try to get that done. But you know, being able to do that is, to me, you very useful in this, you know.
I know, because I don't know how to use the SDK. You know,
What?
For me, it's like,
That sounds
yeah,
crazy
man.
to me.
For me, it's black magic. I just know how to do 3D art, design stuff, and then my team goes and uses the SDK. They are the guys who really knows how to work.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. You know, I only know a little bit, but I know enough to get things done. So, you know, that's cool. You know, if it's too much, I kind of just like till I get some help. Like this, I wanted to make a function of changing the channel, and that's like a really tough function in so far that I've run into. So it's not like just something straightforward that I can just be like, hey guys, how do I change the channel? They're like, I'm not even answering. You know.
I know what you mean. And also people who use it. My team complains about it all the time because it breaks, and you know, you have these issues and maybe you don't know what's going on or what problems you're having. But all this, I can, from the feedback I get from my team, I can tell you that 6 months ago it was hell, and now it's less hell. I guess six months from now it's going to be better, and 1 year from now it's going to be better, and probably some months from now we don't even need the SDK to build cool environments. So
that's true. Yeah. There would, I would imagine that at some point some people would have coded most of your abilities to, you know, that are in the SDK into some sort of in-world UI format, which would be pretty cool actually. Eventually, just kind of like grabbing and building and picking from a library of stuff and just popping it in, you know, like that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, CryptoBoxers have it, and that's the reason it's popping up for artists.
I think the tough part, I guess it's not tough because I guess you could just kind of block or make anything red that is like over the parameters, but the triangles. We talked about it before, like fitting the triangles onto the scene, and then especially like if you're doing it that way, you're gonna be just grabbing whatever 3D model, and then eventually they're gonna be like, okay, that's too much stuff. Materials matter too. So how many different materials you're using on the 3D model. So I think that's what makes it a little bit tougher than just like boxes is boxes.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah. I can see what you're saying, but I guess we will get to the point, because then we're going to be library of really low poly models, very well optimized. You're going to be able to upload your own models, so there's going to be less friction. Let's just keep it with that, because
that's true. Yeah,
I know about optimization. Last time we released Tom Chaser, this one, and we have this location, and we have to move Tom Chaser from another location in Decentraland because the parsers around us were breaking the game.
They're too busy.
They were poorly optimized. Yeah, they were poorly optimized, and they were giving issues to the project, and so we decided to just move it, because we didn't have any issues for a week, and now it was like 5 minutes before lunch and we were having break-ins, and we're like, oh shit. Damn. But I think we managed that one.
It was an issue like that around, and I think it's fixed now, but it was around the Soyu Club, and so one day somebody bought my trippy grass from the MetaZone, and so I'm like, I want to go check that out and see that guy's scene. So I go to see the scene, and the thing just kept crashing. It was in that area, and they got it all figured out. Toonpunk got with those guys and figured it out. But yeah, man, like it was just every single time you got in there, it would just crash every single time. So I'd be like, get just close enough to almost see the build, and then I'd crash. And I was like, oh my god. But we've gone through the ups and downs of that stuff, and again, they always, every single time this is the one good thing about the team. Every single time that something comes up, they take it, and then they. It's not like sometimes it's not a quick fix, but it's always like, all right, that's a thing that's happening. We got to take care of that,
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any complaints with the Decentraland team so far in the last months. I think they have done an amazing job. They have been pouring a lot of work and a lot of time into fixing a lot of issues that the community was having, and they have been having a steady development on the platform. And I guess I will be happier if it was faster, but as long as it is going, that's totally fine. Yeah, I mean, a year ago the world didn't even exist, right? So that's something to think about it.
I know we go so fast, and how quickly things move around here. You forget about it. Like I was thinking, just like it's been about a year now since a lot of really cool things happened. It's wild. Yeah. About 1 year ago is about we're in November now almost. All right, so 1 year ago we're talking about like the game jam. Really, that's when right around this time. So you're talking about almost like a completely unpopulated world this time a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think last time, 1 year ago we wasn't able to go around Decentraland.
You had to have beta. Right. You could go around, but it was like
you had beta, but there was nothing around. I remember working on Momo's Park and trying to deploy it, and I also remember working on a lot of galleries at this point last year.
Yeah.
But we had to wait for Decentraland to kind of deploy them, and it was not frictionless way. You can do it like on your own, but you can do it now. And as I said, I have no complaints now with Decentraland. I know I've been very picky about it in the last, in the beginning, right? But I've seen that they have managed to overcome a lot of problems that they have, and they have been working on that constantly. They're having, they have been steady progress all the time, and that's actually what matters, right? If they manage to continue this steady progress, 1 year from now, the world is going to be filled with content, and there's going to be way more people in it. There's going to start to be an economy in it. So
I see it that way on doing my events. When I'm, because I kind of deal in mostly just number of people. Whereas like I build and stuff like that, but that's not really the main focus of what I'm doing. So I basically deal with a number of people. So I'm noticing a consistent more number of people in world in into the chats. And it's funny. It's kind of like it feels like we picked up where we left off when video started messing up, because there was a time in the beginning when video was perfect, and then video started messing up. We lost our crowds, and it feels like we're picking up in that same pace though. So going a little bit more than that from before, but where we were headed, because I always felt that the video thing in Decentraland, not it to be the only thing, but definitely for a certain you can grab attention with a video, things like this and all kinds of things. I mean, I got ESPN or whatever playing on my parcel and over there somewhere. I think that video is going to be key to a lot of the things that we do, and I've been trying to work with that. The NFT 42 build. I just tried this new thing. If you guys get a chance, go check it out. It's like the video's playing. It's just like some horror movie channel or something like that. But the video's playing. But when you go up the stairs now, there's a huge video screen up there, and it spins when you walk around, so like you always have a good view. And it's like a second TV, but there's only one sound playing. So I've been kind of toying with like different ways that we could use what we got to do something that's kind of specific to Decentraland,
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be, I mean, how to say it? I think one of the reasons we are having more people in the game now is because summer is over, right? People is
I was thinking about that.
That's maybe the most.
Well, remember last time when I called you? I think I forget what it was, a round table or something. I'm like, "Hey, Danny, you trying to do this round table?" Like, yeah, but I'm out hanging out a little bit right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably yes. Also, I have now an office, so it's easier for me like to separate work from pleasure and.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, summer is a really key point for people, because people wanted to go out, and after a quarantine being at home, people were like, oh shit, I don't want to be at home anymore, But since the COVID is coming back and we're seeing that it is spreading again, and it's getting cold again, so people is getting back to their houses.
Yeah.
And they came back and they check out Decentraland again, and they say, oh shit, this shit has improved, There's something to do now. There's a lot of events going on.
Yeah, I love the reaction of people when they haven't been around for a while, and then they're like, whoa, this or whatever, and you're like, yeah, man, like you ain't been around in 2 weeks. A stencil popped in yesterday, and he was blown away.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? And the event page is also awesome. I think it's driving a lot of people in the game. I mean, you can always see Mobster or Joseph or everywhere in almost every event around.
It's good because it creates that vibe. Like you get to know everybody. I spend no time talking to Mobster. It seems every day now. All these guys. So you get to know these people, and it's a thing that I think will improve. What do you think about speaking on that subject, on the voice chat, and how that's going to change the game?
Okay, about voice chat, I'm not a pro. I will say it's not, for me, it's not like something you need right away, because voice is a pain in the ass and voice is a bitch. And it's very hard to make it work properly, and it's going to take a lot of time to develop it. Or that's my thought on it, because I've seen a lot of games during my years trying to implement their own voice system, and I've seen a lot of them failing on that. For example, World of Warcraft, right? Blizzard has amazing amount of money to develop, and they try to develop their own voice chat into the game, and it sucked. Nobody used it. It was bullshit. So people went back to TeamSpeak right away. I think that's what's going to happen for Decentraland voice. You are going to use it, but if you want to have like a conversation with a lot of people, you are going to use Discord. Yeah. Because voice chat works if you are in the scene, or if you are close to that person. I think for casual talking is going to be fine, right? It's a nice feature. It's like in crypto voxels.
Yeah.
But if people want to have an event, or if they want to host an interview, they are going to use something more stable and then broadcast it, like we're doing now.
Yeah, I would say 100%. If you were gonna do like, I wouldn't do this over voice chat with a background screen. I'd rather it like this. But I do believe that voice chat definitely is gonna be important into kind of bringing to life the person behind the avatar. You know. So if you can kind of ring that person, if in world I meet you, we never met before, and I just we have a conversation, and hey, let me give you a call, and then we start talking about something, that person lives in Lithuania and I live in America, and then we start doing something together, that could be big,
Yeah, I mean that's totally fine, but as I said, I will see it for something more casual, maybe to meet someone.
Yeah, more of a niche thing, like, but I think that it just can help, but I 100% understand what you're saying, where it's like it's gonna be almost like an undertaking to do that for the team, whereas like you wonder how much of an impact as opposed to other things that can be implemented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if implementing it is going to improve the Decentraland,
quality of life.
Quality of life in the Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I used the voice chat in crypto voxels, and I had really good conversation, and I have some fun times.
Yeah.
Right, and I use it because I remember this time we were in very early in the meeting in the morning, and I was speaking with people in the US, and it was fun, right? But it just happened twice. I mean, right? It just happened twice, And I used to visit crypto voxels every single day for months. So, if I wanted to speak with somebody, I will go to the Discord and ping them, and then call them in private or make a group or whatever. So, I'm not sure if the effort is worth enough to be implemented sooner than later. That will be.
I think actually, now that you say that, what could even be a lot easier if they just like let us have links in world, like in the chat. So if you had links in world in the chat, you can just like send somebody, hey, this is my Discord or whatever. All the links in the world would work, and that'd be fine. Maybe that would be almost just as good as voice chat.
Well, we're kind of doing that already in our scenes. You have already links to other places,
we got hyperlinks, but I'm talking about links being available that you can just link in the chat box, and a link can pop up there. Maybe that's exclusive to private messages. That way you're not just getting some wild shit going on in the normal chat. But I'm saying like links can change it as far as like that same kind of communication. Like, hey, I can get in your inbox if we met in the world, and I can be like, hey, this is my link to whatever I'm trying to send you to, and you can just go there if it's a Zoom chat, if it's a Discord or whatever,
Yeah, I mean, links in the chat, I think will happen eventually. Is something natural. Yeah. Maybe you just can send messages with links if you have like a verified account. Like you paid for your name, maybe some only paid names can link stuff, so you can avoid, spamming people or spamming bots.
Yeah, bots. Yeah, my guess is that once you have links, then you guys start dealing with bots.
Exactly. That's what I see the issue with links in the chat, but. Maybe people who have paid avatar or paid, passport, they have this ability to link, or I don't know, maybe you don't need to link, maybe you just need to select the text, because right now you cannot even select text from the chat in the Decentraland, which is
you can't copy and paste anything out of there.
That's the thing, right? If you send me something interesting, I have no idea or no clue how to get it out of there.
Photo memory, remember what it looked like. It's happened to me a few times in the chat where somebody's saying something that I'm like, oh, I should look that up. And then I'm looking at the thing, and I'm looking at the other screens, and luckily I have a couple screens on it. But if you were working off of just the one screen, you would never remember it. Close that screen out and then go to the next one. Nah, not happening. To go back to back in the day, pencil and paper on the side because you're in the DCL chat, you know.
Yeah. Well, I always have pen and paper here, so
I actually do too. But come on, yo. We're in the digital age, you know.
But that's I'm kind of against that. I like to write. I think I remember things way better if I write them, even if it's just once. Yep. It helps me to, keep things in memory. But that's just me. I'm not saying anybody to do that.
No, I keep pen and paper here for any kind of conversation that I'm having that I'm, something I want to remember, and then I'll, look into it. But I got a stack of papers here. It's not a notebook. It's just a stack of papers, and the weirdest jot down notes on there. It'd be just say like space, gamers hub, whale shark. It just has the weirdest, like, odd. There's no continuing. There's no, like, here's what I was thinking when I wrote this down. I just wrote the word itself, and then maybe I drew some, and I don't draw. So it's like, just scribble something, on the side, because I was just doing the conversation, scribbling on the side. And I'm supposed to remember whatever I'm supposed to remember off of that. So that's how my notes
I know that. Because I used to do that, and then I went to the notebook, like, fuck paper,
going right to it.
Because I lost everything, right? Then you spill coffee on it, then you
Yeah, it's true.
Paper disappear, then it goes to the floor, and then you step on it.
My thought process is whatever's on the paper is on the way into the computer. Like that information is probably on the way into the computer for some reason or another. Like that I'm gonna look it up or something. So I try not to fall in love with that piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, all right. I wrote it down. Hopefully, I should be looking into this if I wrote it down, and then life can move on. And hopefully, that paper is not that. But once in a while, it is, and I'm flipping through the papers. It's like one paper like from 3 months ago, one paper from last week. It's like.
I know what you mean. Then use a notebook, man. Sorry to say this, but use a notebook.
Yeah.
I've been using notebooks. I have like. Oh shit! You cannot see where I am.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're in Polygonal
I have
Mind,
like this ton of notebooks because I also like to write the date where every single day I write the date. Like this helps me to put my ideas into a timeline. Like 3 months ago I was thinking about this. Oh, okay. Or I know that a year ago I had this idea and I want to bring it up now, and then I go look it up for the notebook in that year, and I was, oh shit, my idea was really bad. I don't do that anymore. You can check it out. You can have a track of your ideas, and for someone who is like extremely disorganized as me, is very helpful.
I see it. Maybe I should go to the notebook. That's probably something to think about. I mean, it's nothing but a couple dollars away. It's just like making that decision, to go to the notebook and jotting down the dates. It probably makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of stuff that I forget, but I do retain a lot of information that I just hear, and I do pretty good.
I mean, the thing is I don't trust in my memory. I just don't trust. I had bad experiences trusting myself. I mean, not really bad experiences, right? But I had bad moments trying to remember things, and I was like, oh shit, I cannot, maybe I can do that now, but maybe in the future I'm very busy and I cannot be giving so much attention to get back to my thoughts all the time. So also this gives me a lot of confidence in myself to not forget things, right? Because I used to be this kid who didn't do the homework because they forgot about it, right? I was like, oh, do you have any homework? No problem. Next day in the school, did you do the homework? Oh shit, I forgot about it. So it was me all the time. So eventually I had to do the decision to write everything down, and even if it's bullshit, most of my notebooks are bullshit. No worries, it's not.
Right. It's good. Well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll see what the move is for me, but I've been pretty good. It's not. I probably don't need as much information as you. I'm gonna keep it honest. Like that kind of information is specifically, numbers and links or whatever it is. You know, my stuff is mostly relation based. You know, we get friendly, we talk. I introduce you to this guy, and somehow that works out for me. That's just my life right now.
Yes, there is a lot of hope, and I think the good thing about this space is that you're always meeting new people. Check out this guy called Houston, right? Houston. This guy, he's been around Decentraland only for less than a month.
Yeah.
Right, and I've been speaking with him lately, frequently. Not frequently, I would say, but I've been wondering what's this guy doing and what's he's working, and but you can see him, and 3 weeks from now we will see a new Houston who will pop up in the Decentraland. He will be wandering around the Decentraland and talking with the new people, and maybe the new Houston is a millionaire who wants to give a lot of money. So who knows, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really has been kind of like that. My relationships, through the metaverse have been like, you like, okay, I meet this person, we have some sort of friendly relationship, later on down the line, we do something together or something like that. And then like-minded individuals, I ended up connecting with them, or I connecting two different people who I felt like they should have known each other or something, and these things have been very, successful for me when it comes to getting things done,
Yeah, and also I think the people who is visiting the Decentraland now is still very early on.
That's true.
And it's still people who is interested into developing the Decentraland rather than just get in and try to, the most freaking question on the Decentraland Discord is, how can I make money in this game? How can I make mana in this game? How can I become rich playing this game?
One move. Right now, right now.
Right, and that's not how it works. You have to get in, get to know people, get to see what's going on, and stick around on these kind of events or speaking, and eventually you will figure out a way to how to build in the Decentraland or how to improve the Decentraland.
Yeah, a lot of times when somebody does something in Decentraland that's like really successful, it's pretty revolutionary in its own right. We're all pretty much paving our own paths. We make up our own ideas, and because everything's idea based, right? Like you're just like a 3D model can be made of any idea. So it basically starting from like anything in the universe you can think of, so everything's pretty brand new, whether it's this place or a place that looks like the moon or something like that. It's the same. It's still, somebody had to come up with that idea and kind of be first to it. Everybody was first to almost every idea so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? We all have different ideas. We all have different approaches for Decentraland. And I think we're all trying to get our own stuff that we learned before Decentraland into Decentraland, right? I used to do games, so I'm trying to do games in Decentraland. I like to do character artists, so now I want to do avatars in Decentraland. And there's people who is trying to make a bank in Decentraland, or because maybe they work in bank industry before, or I guess it depends on your background.
Who's making a bank in Decentraland? Because I need to talk to them.
Oh, I know somebody is doing that, but
we need to talk to them. I mean, I just want to know them early.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe let's say Uniswap wants to have their headquarters in Decentraland, right? Maybe you can pool your mana directly into Decentraland, and only you can pool mana in Decentraland. But that's only the guys who are already working on that can bring that into the Decentraland. That's true. That's kind of me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Somebody that's working on a bank. Everything's pretty new. You got a lot of the businesses are starting to. I kind of talked to some of these guys, starting to understand what they can do with their builds. I feel like the builds up to right now are just kind of like 3D model. Colliders and stuff, generally, maybe a video screen or something. But you can do a lot more. You can throw links in there. As time goes on, I think that people will find way more that they can do with it. But I am just not that deep of a developer. So some of my hopes and dreams take a lot of developing. So to say like, I think this could work because I know a little bit about coding doesn't mean that I know it can work, or I don't know that it's going to take 100 man hours. You know.
Yeah. I know what. That's exactly what happens to me. I don't know what's. I know I studied programming, so I know how it works, and I know if it's possible or not. But I don't know really how much time it will take for my team to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah.
So you know, sometimes like I joke with Maddie. Sometimes we're like moon boy dreaming, and then we're like, it'll be so cool for this, so cool for that, and then we're like, wait a minute, is this gonna be like something to take somebody, you know, $50,000 worth of work? You know, we were talking about one day. We were talking about the client. And I hit up HP like, hey HP, you want to just whip together a client for us? And he's like, yeah, we can start with 50,000 and go from there, and it might cost a lot more than that. And I'm like, oh damn, that's a lot. Let me go back and talk to Maddie.
I mean that happened to me also with building. A lot of people reach out to us like, oh look out, I have this parcel and I want to build this and that, and then I want also to have a store, and I also want to display this, and I'm like slowing people down, like, wait a minute, you cannot do that, or this is going to cost you, you know, $5,000. And they're like, oh shit, I thought it was like super easy to do it. And like, no, sorry, it takes time. It's going to take time because people, when they reach out, they want their buildings to be the best building, you know, so they can stand up against competition or against their neighbors.
Yeah.
And they also want functionality, and they also want things that are not possible in the Decentraland yet. Like, we had this guy who wanted to create a cannonball idea, right? Where you pay mana and you get pushed out on a cannonball randomly through the Decentraland, and at the time it was impossible, right? I'm not sure if it is possible now. Maybe someone who is listening to us steal the idea, right? But
I mean, nothing really launches you that well so far in Decentraland. Like, not yet.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And when I was explaining it to the guy, he was like, oh shit, the Decentraland sucks. And I'm
as soon as his idea doesn't work, Decentraland sucks. No cannonball man machine. I'm out of here. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, so many stuff.
Yeah, you know, it's you gotta just like, you kind of gotta work with what you got. I know it's like, it sounds like, oh, you know, like you're limited, but you're so not limited. You know, you really can do a lot. So you just gotta have a little creativity, you know, to know what you're trying to get into. Hey, you know, one of the things I saw in the chat just a second ago was like somebody was putting like what would have been an emoji. It'd be nice if we can do emojis and then they just pop up over the top of your head.
Yeah, that would be great.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, that's really good.
Yeah.
Also, more dancing animations.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get that done right now. You know, I'm gonna tell somebody to code that up. Whip that thing up right now. Hey, I need emojis. Stat.
I mean, that's also a thing, right? The issue Decentraland has is that how it's built, you need to figure out your way in Unity and also figure out the way in the SDK, and things can break down. For example, with the crypto avatars thing, right? We managed to make it work in our land, right? We managed to change your character into a new avatar, and everybody can see it, but it's only working in our land, right? So that took us like some time to polish because it was kind of easy to do, but it took a lot of time to figure out the workaround to make it work properly without breaking everything. And even also for the event in the Decentraland, for the crypto avatar launch, we had this idea of sending people out of space in the same building, and that took us like a week and a half just to make it work. And you know, it is possible, but you need to invest time into it, and you need to think if investing that time is worth the effort for what you are launching. Because what I see also in the Decentraland is that the people who is building it need to promote itself, right? The great thing now is that if you promote your game or your idea in Decentraland, you already have 5, 4, 3, 6 people who will show up. And if more people show up, that will bring more people up. And now we can have more people in the game, you know, with all these variable airdrop. We saw that we can have thousands of players in Decentraland, which is awesome, right? Because just a few months ago, nobody was there, and you had
even with Moonshot, we had a well, we were dealing with like 100, and we're like pretty proud. We're like 100, you know, you know. It's so you can definitely see that some like improvements have been made there in that department. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, that's probably the most valuable thing that they can develop to sustain more people in the game, to be able to have more and more people without breaking the game. That's probably the most important thing for me, and for anybody, because if you want to host an event and you go there and you see 10 people around you, you're like, oh, this event sucks, right? It's only for these nerdos that I don't want to meet. But if you see a lot of people, you will see that, oh shit, this is actually interesting. I can speak with people. I can go to events that are actually interesting. So yes, I think towards Christmas we will be seeing more events, more people in the game, and probably if we manage to make the game that I'm thinking, then that I haven't spoken, we will have thousands of players all the time.
That's what I'm trying to hear about. That's Christmas. That's legitimate. You know, that's Christmas for real.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Decentraland, right? That I think it took some time for me to realize that if we want Decentraland to grow, we also have to, the people who's building it also have to promote it, to bring people in. And bring more people in, and the more people they get in, they see good content, and they will stay.
You know, as much like is the difference between working for a startup and then working for like established companies. So if you were working for a startup, you got 7 jobs that you never signed up for. Like, all right, check it out. You're janitor. You do the you know, you do the computer the coding around here. You know, you also do this and that. You're this guy and that. You have to, because there's only so many of us right now, you know. In the future, and if there's a whole bunch of people, then I could just be on the camera. I don't ever have to probably deal with the controls, volume, any of that stuff, you know. So many of my interviews got like half of it cut out because I was not, like, you know, I didn't put the sound in correctly or whatever it may be. And I'm checking it now just to make sure I didn't do it today. Because I'm trying to tell you, like, yo, I'm not the best when I'm trying to do both. But, you know, when I'm just doing one, like yesterday I was doing the whip, that went smooth because I can just sit behind the controls and decide who's on, and you know, whatever. And that's easy, you know. So, you know, as time goes on, and you know, again, like, someday probably soon I don't have to be the coder or the 3D model, you know, like any of that stuff. But, you know, for now, I'll do anything right now to, you know, to get it going. And I think that you have to have that mentality. Like, all right, there's nobody's gonna do this for me. I'm going to do it. You know, that's it.
Exactly. Oh man, so many people in the scene now, right?
yeah. People. You know, they pulled up. Some guy here a little late. You know, it's early. It's late for some people. It's, you know, you never know what time it is in the morning for some of these people. Yeah, it's crazy. There's an event going on. I think August. You know, Fede's gonna be doing an AMA at like 3:45 my time. I'm like, AM.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Chances of me getting to that? I'm usually sleeping.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Also, timing is a thing. If you follow the WIP progression, they managed to also reach out the Asian community by making another WIP in another timeline.
They did that, yeah.
It was not
cool,
possible
yeah.
for them, right? For me, as an European, I can go to both. I can go in the evening, but I'm sure there is going to be an event in Australia that I cannot go to for sure, right, in the future. And that's a cool thing. That
I'm always
What I like
excited when there's
about-
more than one event going on. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing.
I'm like,
Yes, exactly.
I'm happy for that because I know that we need that. You know.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, we have an event in an hour or so.
Oh, nice,
In
nice.
the Momos Park, with Hackatao and Arc and yes, it's a gallery we've been working on for a long time. And it's finally launching. And we had some issues this morning with it. You know, the usual thing, but that's. I'm checking if there's an issue, but seems to be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, that's great. So it's just a launch, a gallery launch. You guys doing anything else with it?
It's going to be a gallery launch. There are 3 artists, 3 galleries in the same space. It's a huge space in Momos Park. It's built by a guy called Jen, and what we did was improving and optimizing the work that Jen did, because he made the building, he made the gallery, but as I mentioned, optimizing is difficult and it takes a lot of time, and if you're not experienced, you can break shit down. So what we did was take his work and optimize it, improve it, and make it look really good. And you can see it now. I mean, it's in the event page, and it's going to be in an hour or so.
Oh wow, nice. Well, I'll probably get a chance to check that out. That's cool. Yeah, man, I love that. You got a lot of things going on, and you know, I mean, it's like almost one after another. You know, I got what we got, like roundtable tomorrow. I'll be on the roundtable tomorrow, and then actually starting Monday, I'll be doing the podcast for the Whip Crew. So it's gonna be like Monday and Wednesday. I believe Monday is Rizzo's show with Matthew, and then Wednesday is Sandy Meow's show. So I'll be broadcasting those into NFT 42 as well. And so like little by little, we're gonna end up with, you know, busy times and slow times. You know, think about that one. Imagine when we start to get to the point where we know there's like a wave. So you're like, all right, you know, whatever your local time is, but like, you know, like 12 p.m. my time is busy around Decentraland, you know, and then again around, you know, 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. or some weird time in your time. You're like, you know, those are the times if you really want to catch people, you know. Right now, you know, it's like any time is any time, but we'll get to a point where like, all right, there's a sweet spot, you know, that there's going to be a good amount of people around at this time and then that time, you know?
Yeah, that's going to happen. I mean, it's already happening. Maybe during the week it's harder to get people in, unless you're doing an airdrop. Like
airdrop, they'll show up. They'll quit their job to get an airdrop. Swear. Oh man.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I guess if you need any place to showcase, if you get bored of the NFT 42 building, you can count with us with the Momos Park. I know Seb like people going around it, so if you want to broadcast in Momos Park anytime.
Yeah, I'm always open to doing things like that because I like the idea of things being in different places and putting screens in different places, see how it looks, see how it takes to that area. So by all means, let's put in some sort of like event together where we, you know, have a, you know, podcast or something like that, you know.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that. I'm not gonna hold you up much longer, man. Awesome finally getting a chance to catch up with you since our loss in Moonshot. I'll never forget that.
Oh man, that day.
I'll never forget our loss. Our loss to Polygonal Mind.
Oh yes.
Man, that was the real championship.
Oh man, the next day was really bad. I got really mad when we lost.
I know.
I remember that. It's going to haunt me for a long time. I remember getting pissed off, like really pissed off, because you know I saw the ball going into the score, and
I know the exact score you're talking about, and you're right. But it was a test run, really. That's why we had to have it as people that were closest. Did you imagine if somebody was like really feeling like, you know, that way about it? You know, they're like, they're not in Decentraland, they're not involved, they came for the game, and then the game was messing up. They would lose their mind, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's the cool thing, right? We make it's still only the folks around Decentraland were invited to that stuff, right?
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be bananas because I think there's going to be more people. Maybe
Well,
Hookstone creates a new team.
Well, the next time they do Moonshot, the mechanics are probably going to be so good, man. That I could imagine that it's actually going to be extremely competitive. Next year, I'm just going to be an announcer, and not every day. Like, that's how serious Moonshot is. If it's going to be next year or sooner or whatever, but whatever they do with Moonshot, I want to be an announcer, but I don't want to be every day. That was like running, I don't know, like a marathon every day. It felt like it's crazy. All right, but like I said, I'm not gonna hold you up. Thanks for coming and talking with me. You're always welcome, and we'll figure out a way to get something going on in Mamas because I think that's a good idea.
Okay, man. Looking forward to that.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks everybody for coming by. Take it easy.
Thanks, everyone.